Hello everyone and welcome back to UTution. I know it's been a very long time since I uploaded something, but today in this video we're going to talk about or discuss about the poem Night of the Scorpion, that is 3.1 of Balbharati textbook. So without wasting further time, let's get started. As usual, do not forget to grab your textbooks and your pencils or your highlighters or markers, whatever you all wish to. We are going to, as usual, discuss about the poet first, then about the poem, and then in detail about the poem and all the poetic devices used in the poem. So let's start, and it would be for sure you're going to learn something new from this entire session. Also, before I start, I've also uploaded a few chapters and poems of Balbharati textbooks already on my channel, so you can also go through those, right? So let's start. So before I start something, let me discuss about Nizam Ezekiel, who is the poet of the poem Night of the Scorpion. So basically he was born in India to a Marathi speaking Jewish family. He completed his education from London and from Bombay, of course. He wrote a collection of 8 poetry and won the Academy Award for that. And he was also honored with the Padma Shri in 1988. Now when I talk of Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and Vibhushan, we have already spoken about all the 3 things, how the badges and all look like. We have discussed in Where the Mind is Without Fear. So you can visit that, see that poem as well and find out more about it. यहाँ पे बात करके टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना चाहते क्योंकि सेम चीज़ रिपीट करने का कोई मतलब नहीं है. ओके. He passed away at the age of 79. So this was some basic information about Nizam Ezekiel. If I talk of his name, Nizam means limitless, beautiful name. And if I talk of his style of writing, he basically uses satire. What is satire? Satire is when you use humor to criticize human habits or human follies. क्रिटिसाइज़ करने के लिए बेसिकली ह्यूमन बींग्स की ये चीज़ें क्यों होती है, लैक ऑफ एजुकेशन की वजह से. तो ये उन चीज़ों को लेके आते हैं बाहर और बेसिकली इनको दिखाते हैं इन अ फॉर्म ऑफ ह्यूमर, नॉट इन अ वेरी सैड टोन और वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग thing, but then he uses humor for that. This poem, if I talk of the poem now, if I go to the poem is basically a free verse poem. Now we have already discussed n number of times what's a free verse poem and what's a blank verse poem. ये पोएम एक फ्री वर्स पोएम है जिसमें ना ही कोई रिदम है ना ही कोई राइम है. जिसमें वो पोएम जिसमें ना ही कोई राइमिंग स्कीम होती है, ना ही कोई राइम और रिदम होता है, वो आपका फ्री वर्स पोएम होता है बेसिकली. वेयरएज व्हेन वी हैव अ ब्लैंक वर्स पोम, ब्लैंक वर्स में यू विल नॉट हैव अ राइमिंग स्कीम, बट येस यू विल हैव अ रिदम इन इट. This poem is satirical, as I told you. This is his style of writing. He uses humor to criticize human habits. Okay, but this is emotional as well. Along with satirical, this is also an emotional poem. Why an emotional poem? Because this basically depicts the selfless love of the mother for her children. A mother in the poem is stung by the scorpion, and when after 20 hours of pain, when she is relieved by the pain, when she gets up, the first thing she does is she thanks God that the scorpion chose her and not her children. So this poem basically depicts selfless love of the mother for her children. And also one thing, this poem is a very good example of enjambment. Now what is enjambment? Enjambment वो चीज़ होती है जहाँ पे आपका sentence आधे पे ख़त्म हो जाता है. Your sentence does not complete completely. It's like halfway and then next line में वो sentence ख़त्म होता है. So this poem is basically a very good example of enjambment. आगे हम जब poem और अच्छी तरह से read करेंगे, you'll get to know much about it in detail. Okay, so let's start with the poem. Okay, I remember the night my mother was stung by the scorpion. 10 hours. Now see, look at the line. 10 hours. Now 10 hours is something where your सेंटेंस वुड नॉट कम टू एन एंड, राइट. यहाँ पे 10 घंटे के बाद में आपका सेंटेंस खत्म नहीं होगा. 10 घंटे के बाद क्या, इट्स एन इनकम्प्लीट सेंटेंस. बट यहाँ पे क्या हुआ है, पोएट ने हैज़ यूज्ड एन्जैपमेंट टू कंपोज हिज पोएम बेसिकली. सो 10 आवर्स के बाद में लाइन ख़त्म नहीं होता, बट देन एक्चुअली ही टेक्स अप द नेक्स्ट लाइन टू complete the sentence. So this is the example of enjambment. I remember the night my mother. अगेन यहाँ पे भी लाइन ख़त्म नहीं होती है, नेक्स्ट लाइन पे आता है और नेक्स्ट लाइन पे लाइन आ जाती है. was stung by a scorpion 10 hours of steady rain had driven him to crawl beneath a sack of rice. So this is the first 4 lines of the poem in which the poet is telling he remembers the night wherein his mother was stung by a scorpion. Okay, then 10 hours it was raining continuously for 10 hours, and उस इतनी तेज बारिश की वजह से the scorpion might have come inside the house just to protect himself from the rain, and he hid beneath the sack of rice. And stung का मतलब क्या होता है? Stung is basically the third form of sting. Sting मतलब काट लेना, wound basically by the sting. Okay, crawl का मतलब होता है to move slowly. Now if I talk of these 4 lines, sentences are very clear. The what do you call it, the words used is very simple. You can easily make out what the poet is trying to tell you over here. Nothing to explain much over here. But if I talk of the figures of speech over here, my mother, the first line is an alliteration because the sound of M is repeated. Okay, now one more thing before I talk of the what do you call it, figure of speeches, it's very important that you not only write the figure of speech properly but also give a proper explanation of it. If this is alliteration, why do you think it's alliteration? That is very very important to mention. Also, spelling should be correct. बहुत सारे बच्चों को आता है फिगर ऑफ स्पीचेस, उनको पता है, बट देन व्हेन दे राइट द स्पेलिंग इतना भयंकर वाला स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक होता है दैट I don't know. So why do you give your half mark to the teacher? I would cut the entire 1 mark. So please do not do that. Do not give your teacher to cut even a single mark, even half a mark. और spelling wrong हुई तो half mark तो गया teacher के पास में. So you lose that half mark. So don't give anybody a chance to cut your mark. Okay, now I have highlighted with the red thing over here him. Now when I talk of him, basically when I talk of pronouns over here, we use it for any insect or any animal. Scorpion being an insect, जिसके लिए it use होना चाहिए था, but the poet has very beautifully used him for it. It has been given this human quality. Okay, why do you think he has done this? Because the scorpion is the main or real component of the poem. He can be characterized as a real character, the main character of the poem. That is why आप कहीं पर भी पूरे पोएम में अगर आप रीड करेंगे, इसके लिए him या he ये वाले प्रोनाउंस यूज हुए हैं, उसके लिए it कभी यूज नहीं हुआ. So I remember the night my mother, which is alliteration, was stung by the scorpion. 10 hours of steady rain, has driven him to crawl beneath the sack of rice. I hope the first 4 lines are clear along with the figure of speeches, and stung is the third form. I told you that again. Sting, stung, stung. Okay. Next. So parting with his poison flash of diabolic tail in the dark room, he risked the rain again. Now parting with his poison basically means अलग होना किसी चीज़ से. यहाँ पे अलग कौन हो रहा है? Scorpion अलग हो रहा है अपने poison से. क्यों? Because he has given his poison to the mother, right? He has already stung the mother, and the mother is in pain, so he has parted with his poison flash of diabolic tail in the dark room. He risked the rain again. Now after parting with the poison, quickly, in a fraction of a second, in a flash of a second, he went outside again. Now what is diabolic tail over here? Diabolic tail basically means having the quality of a devil. You can say demonish or devilish. These are the words you can use. So basically diabolic tail matlab the devil की qualities होना. Okay, here is the rain again. The peasants came like swarm of flies and buzzed the name of God 100 of times to paralyze the evil one. Now peasants are basically laborer class. So this shows basically कि सारा setup जो है it's a rural setup. Okay, वहाँ पे लोग कैसे हैं? People are laborers, not of a rich family. And also if you see, the peasants came like swarm of flies, means neighborhood is very loving and very caring. The moment they got to know that someone in the neighborhood has been stung by the scorpion, they come there like a swarm of flies. Now here the poet is comparing the peasants to swarm of flies, क्योंकि बहुत सारे झुंड में आ रहे हैं लोग, किस लिए? ताकि उनको ठीक कर पाए. And buzz the name of God hundreds of times to paralyze the evil one. Now who is the evil one over here? The scorpion, of course. Okay, and why paralyze? Paralyze matlab to stop. Okay, he should not move here and there, because it is believed that the more the scorpion moves here and there, the more poison starts spreading in the body. So they want the scorpion basically to stop at a single place. With candles and with lanterns, throwing giant scorpion shadows on the mud-baked walls, they searched for him. He was not found. Now again, बारिश हो रही है, of course, गांव का सीन है, तो लाइट तो नहीं होगी, राइट? So with candles and with lanterns, throwing giant scorpion shadows on the mud-baked walls. Mud-baked walls basically यहाँ पे मिट्टी के घर बने होते हैं, गाँव की बात हो रही है क्योंकि, and mud-baked is a compound word. They searched for him. He was not found. Who? Him? The scorpion. Again, I'm telling you, scorpion is the main character in the poem, and that is why he has been used the pronoun him or he for the scorpion. Now, throwing giant scorpion shadows. Now, what is this? Scorpion, he stung the mother and he left. Now, who is throwing? How can this be then? How can somebody, when the scorpion is not there, how can there be a giant scorpion shadow on the wall? Basically, here the poet is comparing people to the scorpion. Now, when they have these candles and lanterns in their hands, they basically throw their shadow on the mud-baked walls. But here the poet is trying to compare the people to the scorpion. Why? Because even people are considered to be, what do you call it, very devilish kind of thing, right? People are also as cruel or as devilish like the scorpion. So that is why the poet has compared people to the scorpion. So people actually throw their shadows on the wall, but it's compared to a scorpion. Let's look at the figure of speeches. Parting with his poison. Now poison से मुझे याद आया, why not venom? Venom is something that is very natural. We say snake's venom, right? We do not say snake's poison. ऐसे ही हम food venoming नहीं बोलते हैं, हम food poisoning बोलते हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि difference ये है कि venom is something which is natural and poison is something which is man-made. But over here, Nizam Ezekiel has used parting with his poison. Venom use ना करके poison use किया हुआ है. Why? Just to create a poetic device, just to create a proper figure of speech over there. Parting with his poison, that per sound is repeated. That is why this becomes your alliteration. Second, diabolic tail. Now, diabolic means devilish. Who is devilish over here? Only the tail? No. It's actually the entire scorpion, right? खाली उसकी पूंछ तो नहीं. तो यहाँ पे when I've already explained you all this, when an adjective, a part of the noun is given this adjective quality, that becomes a transferred epithet. Scorpion से devilish quality transfer किस पे हो रही है? Tail पे. So that becomes your transferred epithet. Now peasants came like swarm of flies. Swarm is basically a collective noun, okay? But peasants are compared over here to flies, right? So that becomes your simile. S-I-M-I-L-E, not S-I-M-I-L-I-E. Again, I'm telling you, please focus on your spellings. Bust, again creating some sound. So that becomes your onomatopoeia. Spelling is important. By heart it. The evil one. The evil one. Who is the evil one over here? Of course, the scorpion. Now, यहाँ पे again comparison हो रहा है. Scorpion is being described as evil one. He is compared indirectly to the evil. Okay, so this is your metaphor. Without using any like, without using any as, if you have a comparison or implicit comparison or indirect comparison, that becomes your metaphor. Now with candles and with lanterns, the word with is repeated. That's your repetition. R-E-P-E-T-I-T-I-O-N. यहाँ पे T-A-T-I-O-N repetition नहीं है, repetition है. Okay. Throwing giant scorpion shadows. Now that is pun. Now what is pun? Basically when you have got when something has got two different meanings, जहाँ से दो meaning निकल सकता है, वो figure of speech होता है pun. यहाँ पे दो meaning क्या है? एक तो खुद scorpion हो सकता है वहाँ पे, right? और यहाँ पे ये है that people are being compared to the scorpion. So here we have two different meanings for the single line. So that is why this becomes your pun. I hope this slide is clear. And again I'm telling you all that him and he is used for the scorpion because that's the main component of the poem. So let's move further. They clicked their tongues. With every movement that the scorpion made, his poison moved in the mother's blood. They said, "May he sit still." They said, "May the sins of your previous birth be burned away tonight. May your suffering decrease, the misfortunes of your next birth," they said. Now here the people have gathered, the mother is sitting, sleeping basically in the mid-center, and people have crowded her from all the sides and they are clicking their tongues. ये वाला आवाज़ निकालना. Why are they creating this sound? Basically because they're searching for the scorpion and the scorpion is not found anywhere. And they think that the more movement the scorpion makes, the poison would spread in the mother's blood. Okay, so that is why they want him to sit still. Okay, they said, "May the sins of your previous..." Now this is what they are praying for. They're praying to God that may your sins of the previous birth, पुराने जन्म के जितने भी पाप थे वो सारे आज जल जाए. और आपके आने वाले नेक्स्ट बर्थ के जितने भी मिसफॉर्चून्स हैं वो कम हो जाए. सो मे योर सफरिंग डिक्रीज द मिसफॉर्चून्स ऑफ योर नेक्स्ट बर्थ. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स दैट द पीपल आर प्रेइंग. नाउ यू गेट टू नो दैट पीपल आर अनएजुकेटेड. Okay, that is why they are trying to search for the scorpion. That's why they are trying to pray, and that's why they are making such things that the more the scorpion moves, the more the poison would spread in the mother's blood. So ये सारी चीज़ें बहुत पुराने ज़माने में होती होंगी, मुझे नहीं पता. बट यहाँ पे हमको एक चीज़ भी देखने को मिलती है, दैट द फैसिलिटी ऑफ हॉस्पिटल एंड डॉक्टर्स आर नॉट अवेलेबल. दैट इज़ वाई माइट बी पीपल आर ट्राइंग टू क्योर द मदर ऑन देयर ओन. दे आर trying everything, हर चीज़ अपना वो कर रहे हैं, but then there is no doctor available. Okay, so then they said again, so ये सारी चीज़ें they are praying over here, and I hope the things are clear because it's very simple to understand. Words used and the lines used are very easy. So they click their tongues, this becomes onomatopoeia, and with every movement the scorpion made, his poison moved in the mother's blood, comma, they said. This is clearly an inversion because the sentence would have been they said with every movement, right? But यहाँ पे सब पूरा sentence बोलने के बाद कॉमा डाल के पोएट ने they said लास्ट में लगाया है. So this is also to create a good poetic device, and hence this is your inversion. Also, one important figure of speech used over here. Now, before I introduce that figure of speech, it's very important for you all to understand what repetition is. अब repetition वो होता है जो एक लाइन में अगर दो words repeat हुए हैं, right? Long, long ago, right? Long, long has been repeated in the same line. But अगर repetition starting of the sentences में हो रही है, जैसे कि यहाँ पे हुई है, may he sit still, may the sins of your previous birth, may your suffering decrease. So you see that may is being repeated in different lines at the starting of the sentence. Then that becomes your anaphora. I'm repeating again. Repetition वो होता है जहाँ पे आपके एक ही लाइन में दो words repeated हैं. Anaphora is that figure of speech wherein a word is repeated but not in a single sentence, in different sentences, but at the starting of the sentence only. सेंटेंस के स्टार्टिंग में ही वो वर्ड रिपीटेड होगा हर एक सेंटेंस में. तो वो बन जाता है आपका एनाफोरा. ओके, यहाँ पे जैसे मे ही सिट स्टिल, मे द सिंस ऑफ योर प्रीवियस बर्थ, मे योर सफरिंग डिक्रीज, ये सारा मे रिपीटेड है स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द सेंटेंस में. ये पहला वर्ड है, राइट, तीनों सेंटेंस में. तो दैट बिकम्स योर एनाफोरा. नेक्स्ट, नाउ अगेन मे इज रिपीटेड ओवर हियर. मैंने दूसरा स्लाइड चेंज कर लिया बट टेक्स्ट बुक में तो एक पेज पे ही है. So again this will be considered as anaphora as well. Okay, may the sum of all the evil balanced in this unreal world against the sum of good become diminished by your pain. Now again they are praying the same thing कि जो भी हमने पाप किए हैं वो सारे पुण्य इक्वल हो जाए. May the poison purify your flesh of desire and your spirit of ambition, they said, and they sat around on the floor with my mother in the center, the peace of understanding on each face. Now people are praying, people are saying n number of things because they are not educated. There's no facility of hospitals or doctors over there. जो भी करना है उन्हीं लोग को करना है और शायद फैमिली मेम्बर्स को करना है. तो यही सब चीज़ें चल रही है अभी तक वहाँ पे. तो मे द सम ऑफ इविल, ये मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी बता दिया है, दैट इज़ योर एनाफोरा. या unreal world. Now world is being compared to be unreal, so this becomes your metaphor because an implicit comparison is being made or an indirect comparison is being made, so that becomes your metaphor. Diminish मतलब reduce करना. और फिर से यहाँ पे may the poison purify your flesh. Again the word poison is being used over here so that to create a proper poetic device और अच्छा इफेक्ट लाने के लिए यूज़ किया गया. venom का यूज़ नहीं किया गया. So poison purify, again that's a the sound of p is being repeated, p sound is repeated, so that's your alliteration. Again there's one more figure of speech, that is oxymoron. Now oxymoron क्या होता है? There are when two contradictory words are placed next to each other, that's your oxymoron. Now people would ask me, then what is antithesis or what is paradox or what is oxymoron? तीनों चीज़ें में ऑपोजिट्स ही यूज़ होते हैं, तीनों चीज़ों में कॉन्ट्रडिक्टरी वर्ड्स ही यूज़ होते हैं. तो डिफरेंस बेसिकली क्या है? अब ये डिफरेंस मैं आपको बताऊंगी ऑब्वियसली आज ही, और एंड में एकदम बताने वाली हूँ. आई हैव क्रिएटेड अ बिग थिंग ओवर देयर, तो वहाँ पे हम पता कर लेंगे कि डिफरेंस क्या है. अभी के लिए आप इतना पता कर लीजिए कि पॉइजन and purify. Both cannot go together. Both are contradictory to each other. They don't go along with each other, right? तो ये जो है, this becomes your oxymoron, right? And they said, ये again, this is your antithesis, okay? And they said, and they, this becomes your, the word they is repeated, so ये repetition बन जाता है आपका. So basically the mother is placed in the center and people have surrounded her all around and they are praying to God that everything should be good. They are praying, they are telling that आपके सारे पाप पुण्य इक्वल हो जाए, आपका फ्लैश या सब कुछ प्योरीफाई हो जाए. So this is what they are praying basically. Okay, more candles, more lanterns, more neighbors, more insects. Now again, and endless rain. Okay, so many people kept on coming with number of candles, number of lanterns, neighbors and insects. क्योंकि बारिश हो रही है, right? My mother twisted through and through, groaning on a mat. My father skeptic, rationalist, trying every curse and blessing, powder, mixture, herb and hybrid. So the father over here is being portrayed as a very careful husband. Careful, basically caring husband, sorry, not careful, caring husband, and he's trying everything just to protect his wife, okay, so that the wife could be saved. Also the father has been described as skeptic and rationalist. Rationalist वो होते हैं जो रीज़न में बिलीव करते हैं, जो फालतू की बातों में विश्वास नहीं रखते हैं. स्केप्टिक क्या होता है, जो यहाँ वहाँ की बिलीव्स में भरोसा नहीं रखते. ओके, someone who's true rational, because skeptic and rationalist, you can say they have got the same meaning. So skeptic, he was such a person who does not believe in all these things. So बाकी लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं, उनको उसमें कुछ भी भरोसा नहीं था. And he is trying his own powder, mixture, herb and hybrid. ये चीज़ों को mix करके लगा रहे हैं. He is trying to just protect save his wife. Okay, so more candles, more lanterns, more neighbors. This becomes clearly your repetition, because the word more is repeated in a single line. And also this is climax, because the ideas are expressed like in ascending order. Okay, so this can be your repetition and your climax both. Endless rain, yeah, it can rain cats and dogs, but then endless rain is something like an exaggerated thing, so this becomes your hyperbole. Okay, through and through, again a repetition. Groaning on a mat. Groaning means to make cry in pain, make sounds when you are in pain. So that is again sound is being created, so that's your onomatopoeia. Curse and blessing, again something which is contradictory, opposite. Curse and blessing, opposite words. Okay, so now this becomes your antithesis. Powder, mixture, herb and hybrid. Now powder, mixture के बारे में बात करेंगे तो mixture is a combination of 2 or 3 things. Hybrid is also a thing made by combining 2 or 3 things here and there. So basically mixture और hybrid का meaning जो है वो same आता है, तो that becomes your tautology. Tautology is something where you have got 2 words with similar meanings. Antithesis is something where you have got 2 words with different meanings. ठीक है, तो curse and blessing बन जाएगा आपका antithesis, और mixture and hybrid बन जाएगा आपका tautology. Also powder, mixture, herb and hybrid, this can also be your climax, because ideas are expressed in ascending order, in a proper order, so that becomes your climax. I hope things are clear till now, and I hope you're getting to learn something new from this session. If yes, do let me know in the comment section, okay? And do not forget to like, share and subscribe to YouTution. Okay, he even poured a little paraffin upon the bitten toe and put a match to it. What is paraffin? Paraffin is basically of wax sort of something which is used to relieve pain. And उसको पैराफिन गिरा के जहाँ पे काटा था उसको माचिस से आग लगा दी उसके ऊपर, so that सारा जो भी है जहर वो निकल जाए. So I watched the flame feeding on my mother. I watched the holy man perform the rites to tame the poison with an incantation. After 20 hours, it lost its sting. So the father, he poured a paraffin upon the bitten toe and put a match to it. I watched. Now if you see, look at the words I watched. दोनों lines में I watched is repeated. So that becomes your what? Anaphora. Because repetition is in the same line, but when you have got words and the starting of the sentence being repeated in 2 or 3 lines, that's your anaphora. Flame feeding on my mother. Flame is being given a human quality of feeding, so that becomes your personification as well. Rites का मतलब क्या होता है? Some religious act. Incantation is chanting of some powerful mantras. Okay, and for after doing everything, after pouring the paraffin, after people coming and giving the blessings and all, praying to God, and after all the rites and incantation, सारा chanting वैंटिंग करने के बाद 20 घंटों के बाद it lost its sting. Okay, I've also told you all the difference between it, it apostrophe s and its. जब it apostrophe s होता है तो वो contraction होता है sorry, it is का. For example, if I say it is Friday today, I can also say that it's Friday today, right? अगर मैं बिना apostrophe की बात हो रही तो वहाँ पे belonging दिखा रहा है, its cap, its tail, right? तो जब आपको belonging दिखानी है तो you will use its, एंड जहाँ पे आपको it is और it has का contraction दिखाना है तो वहाँ पे आप apostrophe s का यूज़ करेंगे. ओके, चलो नेक्स्ट. My mother only said, thank God, the scorpion picked on me and spared my children. So my mother, you get to see, get to know how brave the mother is. Entire way in the entire poem, she's suffering, she's groaning, she's crying out of pain, but the moment she is out of danger, the moment she is in her senses, she only thanks God that the scorpion picked on her and spared her children. So my mother, this becomes an alliteration, and yeah, that's it. I guess we have only one figure of speech over there. So I hope you all liked the poem. So basically the poem is trying to tell us the selfless love of the mother, who at the end of everything, she just thanks God that he spared his children and picked upon her. So basically this poem is full of superstitions, right? So ये poem में यही दिखाएगा कि how Indian society is so reliable on superstitions, and this also gives you an idea of how people are in rural areas of India. And it shows you the real picture of rural India. Not today, at least आज तो ऐसा सब कुछ नहीं होगा. Doctors तो हर जगह available हैं, hospitals available हैं. But at poet's time, maybe this was how the case was. And yes, beautifully portrayed how rural India looked at that point of time, and all how people were so superstitious. Superstition to aaj bhi hai. Also, I guess this chapter has an exercise over here where you have to mention superstitions. Do let me know in the comment section. आपने सबसे ज़्यादा कौन से superstition के बारे में सुना है? बिल्ली ने रास्ता काटने के बारे में सुना है या किसके बारे में सुना है? मुझे comment section में ज़रूर बताइएगा. Okay, yeah. Not to forget, I told you all that we are going to discuss the difference between antithesis, oxymoron and paradox. Now, एंटीथीसिस समझने की ज़रूरत है दैट एक ही सेंटेंस में आपको दो ऑपोजिट वर्ड्स मिलेंगे, वो आपका एंटीथीसिस हो गया. ओके, ऑक्सीमोरॉन में ये है कि वो दोनों एक दूसरे के आसपास में होंगे. दे विल बी जस्ट नेक्स्ट टू ईच अदर. ओके, सो दैट्स योर ऑक्सीमोरॉन. आसपास में ऑक्सीमोरॉन, एक सेंटेंस में एंटीथीसिस. अब पैराडॉक्स क्या होता है? व्हेन यू हैव गॉट टू डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ द सेंटेंस विच इज सेपरेटेड ऑफ कोर्स बाय अ कॉमा, और वो दो पार्ट ऑफ द सेंटेंस इज कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी टू ईच अदर, साथ में बैठ नहीं रहे, ऑपोजिट्स हैं, तो वो पैराडॉक्स होता है. एंटीथीसिस ऑपोजिट्स, ऑक्सीमोरॉन साथ साथ में, पैराडॉक्स पार्ट्स ऑफ सेंटेंस. यहाँ पे वर्ड्स नहीं है, यहाँ पे दो अलग पार्ट ऑफ सेंटेंस है जो ऑपोजिट्स हैं या जो साथ साथ में फिट नहीं होते. सो दैट्स योर पैराडॉक्स. सिंपल है ना. लेट्स रीड. टू वर्ड्स विथ ऑपोजिट मीनिंग इज एंटीथीसिस. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एवरी ब्लेसिंग एंड कर्स, दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव लर्नड ऑलरेडी. ऑक्सीमोरॉन, contradictory words are placed next to each other, दोनों साथ साथ में रहेंगे. Deafening silence, silence cannot be deafening, right? But that's a contradictory words placed together, so that's oxymoron. Terribly nice, irregularly regular. Now look at the words. If it's terrible, how can it be nice? So ऐसे words जो contradict करते हैं लेकिन साथ में हैं, वो oxymoron है. और paradox, if I know one thing, it means I know nothing. Now look at that part of the sentence. If I know one thing, I know nothing. So two parts of the sentence does not go together. That's your paradox. So I hope things are clear. I hope I have made antithesis, oxymoron and paradox clear to everyone. पन भी हमने डिस्कस किया था. हमने एनाफोरा डिस्कस किया, इसमें हमने इट्स के बारे में जाना, और हमने क्या डिस्कस किया आप लोग अभी बताना मुझे. अभी बस हो गया, मैं भूल गई हमने क्या डिस्कस किया. Anyways, if you all liked this video, do not forget to like and comment me down in the comment section and subscribe to YouTution. More videos coming up, of course, and stay tuned. Thank you.